In today's video I want to cover group bookings in RoomTracker. To create a group booking, you simply select the date in which you want the reservations to start from. So we'll select that date and we'll just right click and go add group booking. So that opens up the group booking wizard. At this point you can enter in the name of the person to add a group booking. You right click on the cell that you've selected and select add group booking. And this opens up the group booking wizard. This first section here, the group booking detail, this area here is for entering in the name of the person who is either made the booking or who the booking is going to be under. In some situations it may be the name of the person from the company or from a company who's making the reservations, or a single person. In this case I'm going to select a company that I've preloaded and we'll search for it just exactly the same way that we do in when we add a reservation. Yes, I do. So that populates the detail for me, their address, and the person making the booking is the owner of the company. Or it could have been anybody. You can finish in filling in the GST number because they will probably want a GST tax invoice. You can select the reservation source. It may be that they sent you an email. At this point you can now decide whether or not you want this information to appear for all the guest reservations. You may want to enter in individual names for each of the people. In this case I'm going to leave it blank so that I can show you adding how you add reservations for the group booking for individual people. Let's give it a rate of $150. You can fill in the credit card information if you want to. You may want to add in a note that says free breakfast. And we'll go to the next stage. Okay, so the next stage, it just asks you again if you want to make that person, do you want to make that the person's name for all the bookings? In this case I'm still going to say no. That's just in case you forget to do it. So let's say we're going to add them here for till the 17th, and now we can decide what rooms we want them to go into. So I'm going to select from room 1 down to room 3. You can conversely you can add all the rooms by clicking that button, pull them back by using this button, add individual rooms and bring them back again, or if you hold down the control button as you click, you can select the rooms you want to move across. So now we'll go to the next, now that I've chosen the rooms, we'll go to the next section. So in here, this is where if we had selected the person making the booking to be all the guest names, be the names for the reservations, that would have appeared in here, all the same name. But in this case, I'm going to double click on it and I'm going to make it, give them a name, and I don't need to do any more information, just go create. We can do the next one and we'll call that create, and the last one as you can see I'm using obviously fictitious names, nothing imaginative. Okay, Now we've also got the ability to decide whether or not we want to give the guests separate invoices. So it may be that let's say for Mary Smith, for instance, she's checking out the 17th. We can actually change her to check out on the 19th and save that. Now it shows that she's checking out on the 19th. We might want to make it so that she gets a separate invoice. So what will happen now is her details, she'll get an invoice of her own, and Barry and Bill, their details will be combined, financial details will be combined into the one invoice. So I'm just going to set it all back to how we had it. Okay, and I'm going to go finish. And there we go. We've created some group bookings. Normally you would have added your group bookings in well in advance for the purpose of this demo. We're just treating it as they've just come in. Anyway, so if we right click here on the reservation, we can select any reservation and we can go check in. Now at this point we're given the options to check in all reservations or just this reservation. Now it may be that this particular guest has arrived earlier than the others and we can check in just that person. In this case we're going to treat it that everyone's turned up at the same time, and it checks in all the rooms. Done. Nice and easy. Okay, the next part I want to show you is around the invoicing. So I'm going to just go to each individual item. Once again, I can view the invoice for a single room or all the reservations. In this case I'm just going to select it for this room. There is no invoice yet, but we'll say that's fine. I'm going to add a charge for beer. Okay, close that. So we've added a charge for beer for them. We're going to right click on the next one, do the same thing again, but this time we'll select a different product. So breakfast, they've had a breakfast, and we'll do the same thing for the next person. And we'll just give these guys another. So two people, one person's had a breakfast and two have had a beer. So we'll add those in. So now I can go back again and go view invoice, and this time I'll say I want to see it for all reservations. And so what it does now is in the in the invoice view form, is it separates out the items. So we can see here Mary Smith had a breakfast, Barry Jones has had a beer, and Bill Smith has had a beer. So that gives you an item per reservation, itemized reservation invoice. If I now print that invoice, it will reflect that this detail in the invoice. And so here we can see the guest names and what they've had. And if I zoom out a bit, we can see here that we've got a total for the invoice. Okay, so that's pretty much all you need to know. That's very straightforward. When you come to checking the guest out, once again you can select either the one or all of them. I'm going to say all the reservations, it's going to check them all out. Great, and now I can say, right, so there's the amount due is $21, paying by cash. And once again we can go and see the invoice, but I'm not going to bother showing that up again. You may have noticed here that these reservations have actually disappeared. That wouldn't normally happen. It's just that because the reservations were checked in and checked out on the same day, RoomTracker tidies them up. So okay, now what happens if you need to view that information again, or view the details for that group booking? Up here you've got the group booking list. So if we click on here, at this point we've got none in, but if we tick the include checked out and group bookings, it will show us that we've got the group booking here that was for John Jones. It's been checked out on the dates and what rooms were used, and we can double click on that, and you may be that you need to update a GST number or credit card number or something along those lines, and if that's the case you can hit the update button and it will update the details. Of course, the other option you got is if you right click on the group booking, you can delete group booking and reservations. That may be that someone's made a booking 6 months in the future. It's maybe quicker to find them via the screen, but they've decided to cancel, so you can delete it. You can delete the group booking and keep the reservations. It may be that they don't want to be a group booking anymore. Everyone's going to pay individually, so that will delete the group booking itself, but will keep the reservations. And if you want to, maybe that they want you to send their invoice again to them, so you can view group booking invoice. Opens it up again, shows you the information, and we'll print it off. So that's group bookings very quickly. It's very straightforward to use. They're not very scary, and they will make dealing with a bulk number of people turning up at your site a lot easier than having to add them in individually and trying to check them in individually and check them out individually and all that sort of thing. So hopefully you found that helpful.